Welcome back, guys. This is Gaming with Alston. Today, we are on episode 109 of Pyramid City. Today, what we're gonna do this episode is continue on constructing the steps. In the meantime, basically, in the world of the belief in that we should consume meat or not, there are three types of people in the world. There's a group that believes that cholesterol is bad for you, and you should stay far away from it, which is what I'm part of a group of. There are people out there who believe that you can consume as much cholesterol as you want without any problems. And there are those people out there who believe that you need to source your cholesterol in your diet or else you're going to die. Let's see what needs done. Right there. That one. What if there was someone out there who decided it was a good idea to make a burger that was marketed as vegetarian even though it actually had human flesh in it? That'd be a way to lure vegetarians into becoming cannibals, into giving up their ideology and going towards cannibalism. That'd be pretty stupid. In fact, there is one of those internet posts believing, saying that there's a vegetarian burger made completely out of beef. There's no such thing as a vegetarian burger that is made completely out of animal flesh. It doesn't exist. Nope, not even human flesh. Because if you're eating human flesh, you're not a vegetarian. You're a cannibal. Sparrows believes that we should be killing and eating other people. He is a cannibal. Some people go vegetarian just to try avoiding cholesterol. I'm part of that. Plus, I'm doing it for the environment and for the animals. There are those crazy people out. There are those crazy people out there who believe cholesterol is good for you. It's not. It ain't. Because initially, as a genus, we start off herbivorous. But you know, the truth is, there is no such thing as an animal that is truly herbivorous. Because even the most herbivorous animals will resort to cannibalism. And a vegan diet can actually, like, if done correctly, it's a lot healthier for you. If done correctly. When I have kids, I know some people might get, I know I might piss some people off. I'm probably gonna raise them to be vegan. How am I gonna get them to stay vegan? I'd tell them about the link between cholesterol and heart disease from an early age. If a mother cat was to go vegan, all the kittens would die before they're even born. That's how carnivorous cats are. If the mother cat was to go if the mother cat was to go vegan, all her kittens would die before they're even born. The truth about herbivores is that even the most herbivorous animals will resort to cannibalism if vegetation is scarce. If all sources of food for humans are scarce, then we have no choice but to kill and eat people. Same thing. Even the most... It's not just carnivores that engage in the practice of cannibalism. Even herbivores do engage in cannibalism too. If their source of food is scarce. Like, if other forms of animal flesh are scarce too, they would resort to cannibalism. It's an ingrained trait in every animal. Even humans have been known to resort to cannibalism in times of famine. Which meant they had to give up their vegan ideologies just to survive. I know this is pretty sad. But in a survival scenario, you don't have a choice in a survival scenario. Like in a food scarcity scenario. Even if it wasn't... If Tsar Nicholas II would have won in the Russian Civil War, things would have been even worse, ultimately. Because the Nazis would have overtaken our government. Because... Nazis would have been longer-term allies with Russia for even longer periods of time. If Tsar Nicholas would have won the Russian Civil War, the Nazis would have been allies with Russia for a longer period of time. Russian winter wouldn't happen, in America would be overthrown by the Nazis. And a lot of the stuff we take for granted would not exist. Not even computers. A lot of the anti-communist persecution, like persecution of communists and leftists, some of it's driven out of racism. Some of it was actually driven out of racism. Because during the early 1900s, there was a lot of racism in America. Like, even more so than there is today. Like, there were some of the policies were actually racist too. Like, there was ethnic segregation. More like tribal segregation. That's one of the policies. Like, of those, like, ethnic segregation. If it wasn't for any pressure from the Social Democrats and the Communists, as well as Democratic Socialists, we'd still be under racial segregation to this day. Like, no, ethnic segregation. To this day. If it wasn't for the Social Democrats, the Democratic Socialists, the Libertarians, and the Communists. Sfarage is obviously against communism. How? He believes that racism and slavery is human nature. He also believes that we should have a hatred of people of different ethnic groups simply because of their skin color. The truth is, Sfarage, the very first humans had darker skin. Like when they lost all their fur as a result of natural selection. Their skin got darker as a means of protecting their bodies from their skin from UV radiation. Then when people traveled up north, like to the Middle East, their skin was still dark. Then genetic variation occurred. We have a lot of genetic variation right now. But eventually, we'd go back to our roots because of mixing. Not because of ethnic cleansing, but because of ethnic mixing. The ultimate result would be a balance between ultraviolet protection, and vitamin D production. And I'm not trying to be racist. It's not just white people that get sunburn. Even black people can get sunburn too, as well as Asians. And Middle Easterns and Native Americans too. There's a group of people that believe that racism should be abolished. Like, there's kind of a political divide right now. Like, whether or not racism... there's a group of people that believe that racism should be abolished altogether. There are people out there who believe that racism should still be allowed. There are people out there who should believe that we should enslave people there of a different so-called race. And I'm in the area in which I'm in the group in which racism should be abolished. People should be allowed to... Tribal mixing should be allowed. There's people out there who believe that incest should be promoted, too. And Squirrel Muncher is obviously a white supremacist. Sparrow is obviously a white supremacist. And also a pro-slavery activist, who also believes the Earth is flat. Who criticizes modern science because scientists won't, so-called quote, admit the Earth is flat. That's why he doesn't believe in science. The Earth is actually round, like slightly bulging around the equator because of the Earth's rotation. This is why I like to roast the squirrel muncher on the internet. And he also believes we should be eating months-old rotten meat. Sparrow also believes we should be eating months-old rotten meat. Do you know how disgusting that is? Sparrow? Yeah. This is why I call Sparrow out in my videos. Because not only he's promoting white supremacy, he's also promoting a raw meat diet and slavery. He also even encourages people to consume rotten meat, which is also kind of disgusting. I'd never want to touch rotten meat, because that just looks disgusting. Sometime in the future, if I don't have any ideas for my Minecraft series, I'd make videos critiquing Asparagus Flat Earth. Like, I'd watch the videos and critique them as I watch them. There are people out there who give up there are those crazy people out there who give up veganism. Mom? Mom? Okay. There are those people out there who end up giving up veganism simply by so-called protesting veganism by eating a bloody hunk of raw meat. That is just disgusting. Like, it's so crazy that even Sparrow got fined for it. Asparagus is not the only antithesis of veganism. Frank Tufano is also another one. Yet, sometimes he does sometimes cook his meat. He doesn't always eat his meat raw. He doesn't always eat raw meat, unlike Asparagus, who does it all the time. Unlike Asparagus, who basically eats raw meat, nothing but raw meat. Frank Tufano, sometimes he does cook his meat. But they both have one thing in common, outside of going against veganism. They also eat rotten meat, sometimes. Which is like what they call high meat, because they claim that it gets them high. There are vegan bodybuilders too. Like Robert Cheek, who promote a plant-based diet. He's not just vegan and a bodybuilder, he also promotes veganism. I have to admit, the ways I source my B12 in my diet involve chugging energy drinks. I know they're not healthy for us, but I have to source my B12 somehow, without exploiting animals for it. The only reason we should be exploiting animals would be to feed our cat. Would be for cat food. That's the only justifiable reason I have for exploiting animals. For cat food. That is because cats are obligate carnivores. There are people out there who tried putting their cats on a vegan diet and their cat almost died. The question is, didn't the veterinarian give the cat raw meat or cooked meat? That is because in the wild, cats tend to eat raw. Because with feral cats, they are known to hunt and kill. They don't even cook their meat because we're the only people that need to cook our food in order to be able to be healthy. Most of our foods in order to be healthy. Cats don't do that. They just eat it raw. Because there are certain nutrients that cats need that get destroyed by the cooking process. One of them is called taurine. One of them is called taurine. Cats obviously need taurine in their diet. Unlike humans who can break down the carotene, cats cannot do that. We need tougher animal welfare laws. only so animals wouldn't have to live in horrible conditions, but to make sure our pets are following a biologically appropriate diet too. Anyways, this should be it for episode 109? Correct. This is Gaming with Austin signing off. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. And if you want more content like this, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for updates on my series. This is Gaming with Austin signing off. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, and choose.